We will get a points list update on October 27, 2025, and Konami is actually communicating with us about Genesys format and also what they are planning to update. They made a super long article in telling us what they want to do and how they want to do it. Not really detailed, but I want to go into this in the video right here, and let's see what they want to change. Yeah, I'm actually super happy that Konami really tries to communicate with us. They actually give us a date when the points list or the ban list update is coming. I think this is everything we could dream of as a TCG player. If we compare it to the normal TCG, we never really know when the ban list is coming. And if we know it, it's just like, oh, it will come in the end of August, and then it will be the last day, the last hour, and stuff like that. So yeah, this is like the communication with Genesys. This is such a super cool thing. I loved that Konami actually is communicating with us and telling us what they want to change. And yeah, let's go into this. What to expect on the October points update. We're gearing up for the next update to the Genesys points list, which will occur next Monday, the 27th, after pouring through all the results from Anaheim and Sao Paulo. Here at the categories of cards we're playing to adjust. We're still reviewing and fine-tuning for now. This will be the first round of changes where we have actual data, so we're excited. Everything up to now has been through playtesting and theory crafting, but now that we've got actual deck lists, we can put the plan in motion. Remember the basic ideas. Cards that get played by lots of people will go up. Cards that aren't getting played as much will go down. But point decay is not automatic, and we will always keep a hand on the wheel to make sure nothing unfun creeps in. This is like a super nice description on how they want to keep it going. I also think it's really nice that they trying to say us that they want to ban unfun things. Yeah, I think this is what Genesys should be, in my opinion. It should be a more better way to to play the TCG and to enjoy the TCG, and with less unhealthy ways to play the game and more on enjoying the game, right? And I think this is exactly what Genesis should be, and that they want to address unfun things. That's a really cool thing, but it's always up to discussion what somebody think is unfun, right? So some things for me, towers or floodgates aren't that fun. Other people's love that, right? But yeah, it's up for Konami to decide what they think is unfun. Severe performance outliers. Certain cards and strategies saw distinctly outsized play rates and success rates. We mentioned Pot of Extravagance. Yeah, they actually mentioned that before, that they want to hit Pot of Extravagance. I'm also pretty excited on how much they will go up, but I think at least 10 or 15 points on Pot of Extravagance, because this card is like super strong. We mentioned Pot of Extravagance being everywhere in an earlier article, but it's not the only generic draw card that's gone overboard. For deck themes, there's a nice cluster of reasonably popular and successful deck types, another small cluster that are slightly more represented and successful than that, and then there's Vanquished Soul. So they're saying they're not just going to go up with Pot of Extravagance, maybe they go up with other draw cards. Here they're talking about the Radiant Typhoon cards, or other cards like Upstart Goblin or something like that, that's already still at 0 point, right? Maybe they will go up with those cards. And then they mentioned Vanquished Soul. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious to everyone that Vanquished Soul kind of needs a hit. I already mentioned that in my video. We're glad that many players were able to quickly adapt their advanced format Vanquished Soul decks and try out the format in the first few weekends of events, but Vanquished Soul players should expect to make sacrifices in both engine and non-engine on Monday. Alright, this is like a really clear sign for them. They will hit this deck super hard. They will kind of slaughter it. I think this is what it says, because they're not only saying that they won't be able to play non-engine. I think this means that they will give this deck so many points that they also have to decide which engine am I now able to include into this deck, right? So I think this is like a harsh, this will be a harsh hit on Vanquished Soul. I'm excited on what they and how they want to change it. Excessive use generics. There are a few of these, and several just need to be through in line with similar cards that are already costed appropriately. These are mostly, but not entirely, draw effects, special summon and get a card monsters, and solemn judgment variants. Okay, for example, I think they are talking about something like Iron Thunder, which I made a short about, which is completely free and does nearly the same as Solemn Judgment. So they will also address those cards so that you won't have strong negate cards going first anymore to just flip and have this on a board and also this Solemn Judgment variant, right? Then you win. So those will also get points, which is, I think, fair. I'm excited on which cards they will pick. I think Iron Thunder will be one of those cards for sure. Now cards for themes with points already. You'll get 1 weekend to play it for 0, but the Fallen Virtues will be getting some points on to come Monday. Oh, that's super sad. I love to play Branded, as you know, and having this as 0 points, but to be fair, feels pretty strong. So I think it's kind of okay that this gets points. I think 3 to 5 points should be okay. Then you can still play like the whole deck, but you cannot fit Droll in or something like that. So you kind of have to make some sacrifices to play this card, which is kind of fine because this card, let's be fair, it's super powerful to play 3 of those. And I think it's fair that this card will get some points. Spells that weren't tempting. There are a good number of powerful spells on the list that seem a little too costly to tempt duelists into playing them. Mirage of Nightmare is a good example of this type. This is, I think, something I talked about in one of my prediction videos as well. There are a lot of spells, for example, Terraforming, which is, I think, at 40 points, or also Reinforcement of the Army. Those cards will never be played. So I think it's kind of fair that Konami wants to address those cards. And in their mind, also Mirage of Nightmare is one of those cards. So I think that's fair that they want to address that and have a look that you always have those cards at a sweet spot where you want to consider playing them, but not auto include them, right? So I think it's a good way of Konami addressing that. Themes that weren't tempting. There are several themes that were very popular internally and still used despite their current point costs that the world at large wasn't interested in playing. We will adjust a bit. Caesar changes his thumb to point up. So what they're saying here, it's a bit confusing, but they try to say that they tested internally and tested a lot of decks, and the decks they tested internally had a lot of points, but still were played by them internally. But no one played them in the from the player base or on the advanced, so they will go down on the points for some of those archetypes. I don't know what archetypes they're talking about. I hope they're talking about Sword Soul or something like that, or maybe Labyrinth or whatever. So they will go down on those points. But they have some decks in mind that they want to adjust their points down. I think this is what they try to say here. Extra deck cheat cards. When you have extra deck monsters summoning other monsters from the extra deck like Bahamut Shark did, it's going to draw some attention. Okay, they saw some cards that do nearly the same as Bahamut Shark, and they also want to increase those points. I think this is what it's going to draw some attention mean. So they saw that they were played and they want to up those cards. I don't really know what cards they're actually referring here to, but let's just see on Monday. FTK combo pieces. Oh, okay, that's maybe gonna be spicy. Some players decided to just run various FTKs over and over again in the hopes of breaking through the invitational. None of them succeeded, and now we'll force such players further into the unrealistic clickbait combo dimension if they want to try it again. So they're saying they already hit FTKs, but they're saying they hate FTKs, so they will even hit it more, so it's even weaker, right? So this is an overall good thing. Nobody needs FTKs, and maybe people enjoy it, but I don't think it's a cool strategy. So I think that's fine that Konami addresses it even more. because keep in mind that they want to keep the format fun for everyone. Cards likely to become an issue, but we just cannot prove it yet. Okay, we're still building and testing decks internally, and there are some cards where we anticipate to get unfun and out of hand at some point in the next month if we don't adjust them now. Okay, I'm really interested in what they're meaning here. We will see that on Monday. I do not know what they're talking about right here. Maybe they're talking about towers. I think maybe that's what they're talking about, or some other floodgates. For example, we have Shadow Imprisoning Mirror or something like that. That is not hit, or yeah, maybe they're talking about that. But I cannot really tell what they want to try to tell us here. But they found something internally that's kind of strong and could be a problem, and they want to hit it even though it wasn't really successful. So I think that's fair. If they see that something can make a problem, it's good to hit it. Game as administration troublemakers. Okay, a few cards cause issues with the progression of the game or create conflict external to the game between the players that must then be resolved by the judges. Okay, I think what they are referring here to is I think last turn, right? Last turn was played on one of those events, and yeah, there was there was a lot of they needed a lot of judges to rule this last turn card. So maybe they will give last turn more than 75 points. So it's even more unlikely that you can play it. So yeah. I think this is overall a good thing to adjust this, so we don't have to give 5 judges for one card. An example of this is of this kind of card is Question, which suspends a critical part of the official tournament policy for the duration of its activation and resolution, making trouble for everyone involved. By making it more expensive than Monster Reborn, to use the Question will be questionable. So yeah, they want to make those cards even more less played. So I think this is a good thing. We shouldn't waste time on stuff like that. So I think this is a fine idea. This will be the first adjustment based primarily on real-world Genesys play. We are always looking for more data, and you can help by sending in the deck lists from your tournaments or posting them online in written or video form. If you can add hashtag YGO even better. Yeah, I think that's super great that they actually looked at what happened, what people played, and now they are adjusting on base what people played. Also, I think it's super cool that they are looking on social media, YouTube or whatever. If they see this video, if a Konami employee sees, thank you for listening to us. I think this is a super cool thing. And yeah, I'm really happy that that you try to make the Genesys format as fun as possible for every one of us. Postscriptum, remember, whenever we update points, the deck builder website will always have them first, and we will post an article right here away. So the points list will be posted on this Genesys page where this is also up. So here you will always get the updates. And the points list at the main Genesys page will probably lag behind a little bit. Don't panic, and keep in mind we're still in early access and are hoping to re-ramp this in the near future. Yeah, I'm also hoping that they will also integrate Genesys as a toggle or something like that into the Neuron app. So this would be a really cool thing to have to be able to use the Neuron app to see what your points are on the Genesys card. So you can just go into the I don't think in the options and say I want to see the Genesys points, or I don't want to see the Genesys points. So this would be a really cool thing to also keep that in mind while playing or stuff like that, right? So you can see cards of your opponent. Oh yeah, I can look this up in Neuron. Oh, this has so many points. So I think this could be a cool thing. All right. That's it for the update. We will be staying tuned for Monday. I'm really excited on the first pointless update. I think it will be a big one. And yeah, let's see what Konami is cooking. Thank you so much for watching, and be tuned or stay tuned for Monday, the pointless update.